Lin Guagua versus 120 meeting here now in Smile Cup 2. The quarterfinals, round of 8, best of 3. 100% win rate. Am I seeing that right? 120 has 100% win rate against Lin Guagua. Okay. That's pretty scary. A bit of a nemesis, I guess you could say. But nowadays, in the new meta, with Farseer Headhunter, things have changed quite a bit. The orcs have a new weapon against undead and against human. And an orc mirror. Which is called Farseer Headhunters. And also here, this is going to be the choice for Lin Guagua. We're starting off on Last Refuge. And we're going to see an instant Headhunter build. And 120's choice against this is going to be the standard Tet Fiend opening. There's a couple of different ways you can try to counter the Farseer Headhunters. Either with fast Fiends, opting for a late tech, but having 2 and 3 Fiends out very quickly. Or going for the Tet Fiend opening, like the standard that we see here. Both of those styles are played with the Dark Ranger second nowadays against Farseer. Or you can even go for a Ghoul opening and then play Mass Frenzy Ghouls and Garriks, which is one of the wildest and funnest styles, but also really damn hard to play. And almost only Happy does it. And not all the time either. But yeah, here's going to be the standard for 120 at the beginning. Thank you, by the way, Laika23 with a sub. Welcome. Acolyte Scout was looking for the Farseer's approach. Did find him, but didn't manage to deny himself. One of the wolves actually getting killed there by the creeps. And Lin Guagua getting little bits of experience here and there. 120 preserving his mana pool very deliberately. He could have also committed the skeletons to the last little creep there, to the trapper, and gotten the last hit with the coil, but he's being patient. Retreating to the back of his base, waiting for the Nerub to finish. But it's still pretty far from finished. Oh, the wolf's trying to get the ziggurat cancel. Is that enough damage? Oh, I think it is. Pretty annoying for 120. Gonna have to cancel that ziggu. Gonna be supply blocked for a while longer. But the wolves will be expiring here soon. 120 microing his acolytes in the meantime. And this is a classic orc play. You use the wolves to scout or harass. The Farseer and the Headhunters are completely somewhere else on the map. It's nighttime, so they're hard to find. And you resummon the wolves when you're next to the creep camp and creep it right away. 120 knew this was happening. He was looking for the opponent at the green, but he wasn't at the green. He was at the merchant, getting a Scroll of the Beast, which can be really good for Headhunters. And he's gonna get level 2 on the Farseer. Level 2 also for the DK. Wand of Illusion, very good for 120 to be scouting around. And by now, 120 has used a lot of his mana, in fact. .120 scouting, of course, always outstanding, and now he finds the opponent. As creeping continues.
Forces are under attack.
So the Farseer should be level 3 here very soon. And then the wolves early on tier 2 are very, very strong. Especially before their statues out for passive healing over time. The wolves can put in serious chip damage. 120 with a Dark Ranger second can creep very quickly now. Especially at the green camps. Snowballing with these skeletons.
A player's forces are
and the Farseer not having level 3 yet is not ideal. One fiend there was really hurt. A downside of playing this Tet Fiend opening rather than a Fast Fiend opening is for the mid-game skirmishes like the one we see here, you only have 3 Fiends. Whereas with a fast fiend opening, you would have 5 fiends, where you would be a lot stronger. And also normally, creeping in the beginning with the Tet Fiend build costs you more mana, so the DK is going to have fewer coils. And now Lin Guagua is just going to snipe the big boy. Gets the last hit and the item, the coil there by 1-0, perhaps a little bit too late. He may have even gotten the next last hit. Almost around on the Farseer, but he is fine. DK dropping low in the meantime. Wolf block on one side and Wolf chasing a Fiend on the other. It's pretty cool. One headhunter gonna go down, but it's only a single headhunter dying so far. Really good early game for Lin Guagua. Ooh, and 1-0. Forced into a mana potion to keep that Fiend alive. When Lin Guagua's second hero finally arrives, which should be the TC. Or is it the Shadowhunter? No, it's the TC. Okay. Creeping quite aggressively. A more standard play would be to use the TC and the Headhunters and to creep on the high ground at the lab. But here Lin Guagua knows he did so much damage, the DK is so low, that he can be aggressive right now and steal some camps away. Speed scroll committed. Oh, there's a boulder toss on the Dark Ranger. That means she's going to get surrounded. But she's able to perhaps get out. Oh, perhaps not though. This Dark Ranger is dead. But a statue is now out. And that statue makes a big difference. Wolf's going to force back the Fiends. And this is the strength of an early level 3 Farseer against this Tet Fiend build. Which is why I think the Fast Fiends is better against Farseer Headhunters than the Tet Fiend build is.
A player's forces are under attack.
DK is gonna get level 3 though. However, the Rock Golem and the big item, of course, went to the TC. I wonder what he got. Can be a lot of great items. Click it. Ah, he doesn't want to click it. Level 2 now for the TC. So there's that big mana potion from earlier that the Farseer gave him. Oil on the Wolf. Doesn't want that one scouting around. And the TC can power creep pretty well up there in that natural area. You can creep the Merc camp, you can creep the Red camp, and wow. Wow! That's so greedy by Guagua. Tiny Great Hall before Berserker training and before third hero.
The player's forces are under attack.
I don't think 1-0 is scouting it. He's got a Lich coming out now, which feels a little late. Ring +3 for the DK. Gonna send out a scout Skelly, but that one's not gonna arrive. And there's the win condition. Boom! Just like that. Lin Guagua, if he has enough time, this expo is gonna lead to his victory. 1-0 gonna snipe the item on the red camp. Probably gonna have to TP out because Guagua is looking for the creep jack. He knows where his opponent is. TP gonna be forced. It's pretty good for 1-0. Was able to creep the item there. And the cloak, he may even want to keep it. Against headhunters, it can be good. But also it's 300 gold. It's a lot of gold if you sell it. And you can creep the lab right after. Does have one destroyer. And now finally a Lich. And did sell the cloak. Dark Ranger almost level 3, but not quite level 3 yet. Level 3 is a really big deal for the level 2 Black Arrow. Guagua's playing this so aggressively, dude. Oh, pulls the Destroyer back. Bit of mistake perhaps by 1-2-0. Exposing the Destroyer to an ensnare. TC in trouble, but has the heal potion, has the invul potion, the DK. Oh, he doesn't have a TP anymore, right? He just use it. And that's the DK going down. Shadowhunter comes in with the Hex. Secures the kill. Dark Ranger finally level 3 now, but that seems to be a little too late. And Lin Guagua, off to a hot start here, is gonna win map number 1, it seems.
Player's forces
Farseer dropping low. He's in a bit of trouble. Gonna have to TP out. Nova. Gonna find one more kill, but only one. And the Expo is standing. Expo is mining. Lots of gold for Lin Guagua. Even lumber for him still is looking decent. Tavern revive on the DK. Oh, he did have a TP. He did rebuy it, but he was hexed, so he couldn't use it. Second red camp, though, is still up for grabs. If 1-0 gets 2 level ups there, DK 4, Lich 2, might still be possible.
Player's forces are under attack.
But of course, he's playing up against an expansion right now. An opponent who also has triple hero and tier 3, so this orc army also scales very well. There can be a time in the ultra late game where the Farseer sort of falls off, but that is not reached yet. Creepjack again, Guagua again running up the high ground. Gonna force a TP once more. One raider goes down. 1-0 is gonna keep his army alive. Farseer gets level 4. Alright, mana potion for the DK. 1-0. Can he still do this? He's up and he's down by 10 supply or so. Ring of Protection again. Not bad for the DK, honestly. Not sure if he has Death Pact. Speed through engagement. Gets the ensnare on the destroyer right away. Silence the TC, but he breaks out of it with the Invo Potion. Chain Lightning coming through. Destroyer and Fiend killed right out the gate. DK getting purged here with the Orb of Lightning. Orb of Lightning is on the Shadow Hunter, by the way, so lots of purges here coming in from the back over time. And Guagua did bring the Desolate. It's another kill for him. TC with another Stomp. Doing more damage. Almost all the Fiends now taken out, but the TC is now very low HP. He's going to have to fall back to the shop. Shadow Hunter only has level 1 heal wave, so not that much healing from there. The 1-0 kites back. He still has his heroes active, certainly, even if his army isn't that big anymore. The shop here at the Expo now for Guagua, of course, also wonderful. TC with lots of potions. Speed scroll again, running in. Stomp. Hex on the DK. Lich almost going down. Whew, that was close. Invo Potion there, barely enough to save him. TC has a new Invo Potion. Is going to have to use that here. DK almost dead. Destroyer being morphed. And the Death Pact. Ooh, last second save. 1-0 expecting, anticipating that Hex nicely. Keeps the hero alive, but he's so far behind already, it might just not be enough in the end. So many headhunters. Well, at this point, of course, Berserkers. Lich getting focused again. Lin Guagua is probably overcommitting to these hero kills a little bit, but he can afford to overcommit to them with how far ahead he is this game. Oh, Stomp misses. TC, is he going down here? TC level 4, Invo on cooldown for still half a second. Oh my god, TP out on the Lich. Burrow dodges the Devour. Oh, but the Dark Ranger goes down. Whew. Some sick plays by 1-2-0. Doing a great job keeping his heroes alive as much as he can. But playing up against the expansion, he's just so far behind.
A player's forces are under attack.
But he's not giving up yet. He's going to revive the Dark Ranger here. Pump fake on the ensnare. Oh, TC looking for the Stomp. Doesn't have the mana, but the DK is going down regardless. Between Hex and Snare Stomp, there's so much lockdown. That's finally going to lead to game. GG called by 1-0. And Lin Guagua gets the 1-0 lead. Nicely done. And 1-0. Playing the Tet Fiend build can be pretty hard to do. I think he wasted a bit of time moving on after the first green cap. I think if he had just crept up quickly level 3 or played very aggressively against the Farseer to try to prevent his level 3. Could have been better. But it's always such a difficult position on tier 2. When you have 3 Fiends only, plus the 2 heroes, and the opponent has like 5-6 Headhunters. Which again is why I think the Fast Fiend build is just better against Farseer Headhunters. On some maps, Fast Fiend's not that good, where you can't creep so well with them. But Last Refuge, you can creep really well with Fast Fiends, honestly. And we have seen 1-0 play that build before. The thing is, Fast Fiends doesn't match up that well against Blade Master. So if the opponent goes for Blade, it's not the situation you really want to have with Fast Fiends. But this is Lin Guagua. There's no way he's going to play Blade. He's going to play Farseer Headhunters 100%. Yeah, so I really think 1-0 here didn't choose the right build, but that's 1-0's conviction at the moment. He feels that the Tet Fiend build is still the best, which means fast hero into Fiends, something that not everyone agrees with, myself included. But map 2, we'll see if he can turn it around. On Concealed Hill. So Concealed, it should be a little bit harder for the Farseer to creep level 3. There's not really any good camp for the Farseer to creep early, like it is on LR with the High Priest. On Concealed, the only thing you can really creep is maybe the Spider Crab, which is alright, but it's not the most rewarding. So for that reason, oftentimes we see the Farseer being very aggressive at the beginning. Average WoD3 champions MMR. You can see that they have statistics on the homepage. And you guys are way off. It's not 1800. It's like, I think 1200 or something. But you can check that all out on their homepage. I think 1800 is like top 25 percentile MMR or something. Gloves of Haste as the first item. He did want to grab up the item. He knew he was going to be getting harassed. You can also play it differently. You can also go for the green camp first. And then you can creep 2 creeps at the beginning there before the Farseer arrives. But if you do that, then maybe you're going to lose the item over at the other camp, which is not what you want. Lin Guagua putting on a bit of free damage. That's going to change when the first Fiend comes out. 1 Fiend into Ziggurat, into more Rod of Necromancy. This altar should not fall. It's dropping really low though. Wait a minute. Is that altar going to go down? That would be very bad. Scout Acolyte is coming in for the repair. I like that. Alright. Looking pretty standard here so far. So now the question is, what's the creep route here for Guagua? He would love to again rush level 3. 1-0 forgot to make Fiends there for a moment. Good read by 1-0. Knows that there's going to be creeping happening over there.
A player's forces
Did he
are
full
under
repair
attack.
the altar? It seems like a bit of waste of resources to me. And once again, this is the issue with playing DK Fiends, Ted Fiends rather. Ted Fiends into Farseer Headhunter. You're just gonna have way fewer Fiends than they have Headhunters. And so hard to trade. And with a fast Fiend
Player's
build,
forces are under attack.
this would all look very different. But of course, the benefit of this is you get tier 2 much faster. You get the Dark Ranger much faster. Dark Ranger is coming around from the other side right now, by the way. Big last hit here. Whoever gets the Ogre Magi is going to get a lot of experience. Whoa! Red camp creep already? Oh, if this block fails, which it did, that's a lot of wasted time. The Ogre Lord on Concealed Hill is sometimes a little buggy. Sometimes he doesn't want to follow you all the way behind the tavern for no apparent reason. Sometimes he just doesn't want to do it. Oh, Farseer gets level 2, that's a big deal. Last hit does go to 1-0 though. It's a better position this time around for 1-0, however, I think. Farseer is far away still from level 3, which makes dealing with the harass much easier. Next coil invested, gets the experience there as well. But this is costing the undead quite a bit of mana. And one last hit will be secured with a chain lightning.
A
TC
player's
now has
forces
arrived,
are under
can
attack.
creep up to level 2 very quickly. And if the Farseer was level 3, he would be slowing down 1-0 here immensely. But because he's not, 1-0 also can creep up pretty freely. Oh, he's putting the red camp already? Pretty cool creep. The benefit of having headhunters. 6 headhunters, and you can creep everything. Oh, loses one to the creeps. It's a little painful. But they're not that expensive, so easy to replace, I guess. And it is taking a while to kill this Drake. With Inner Fire and Bloodlust, he's looking quite fierce. Quel'Thala's Boots is gonna be alright for the Shadow Hunter later. Not amazing though. 1-0 also forced into Web just to creep this camp. Otherwise Web is gonna be useless this game. Very unlikely we're gonna see Wyvern. But he wants to get the big item and he gets the Flute, which is a great item for him. Also bonus health. It's very valuable. We saw that earlier. Hex, Ensnare, Stomp. There's a lot of options for hero kill. Lin Guagua creeping up the lab. I was about to say, is he gonna go for a Zeppelin to drop it to the Haunted? He might. Oh! And the web could catch him off guard. Is he gonna keep in mind that there might be web on the enemy side? If there's a TP back by 1-0 and he webs the Zeppelin, that could be a disaster. It's only 2 raiders, by the way, so it's not that much damage. It's always a great play to snipe the Haunted Gold Mine. But with only 2 raiders, it's going to be a little hard to do. Alright. Speed scroll. The web. Oh, that was close, dude. Ooh. That was 1 second or so. If that Zeppelin gets caught, that would have been a disaster. Dark Ranger got level 3, by the way. So did the TC. Dark Ranger level 3 is also very, very strong with that Black Arrow. But the TC is going to get pretty close to level 4, which is nice. And he still has his natural available to creep Somehow the red cam in the middle is still available. And 1-0 is gladly gonna take that one. Zeppelin drop gonna come in again, but the Fiend is ready. Oh. And if the Zeppelin is ensnared, you can't unload. Well, that might just be 2 Raiders going down. Is there a Farseer in there? Yes, there is. Uh-oh. Oh, that's a bad drop for Guagua. Farseer survives. He's going to be able to TP out. But those 2 Raiders going down does hurt. It did, however, cost 1-0 2 TPs as well. And Lin Guagua again with a tiny Great Hall on tier 3 right away. Again, pretty greedy. 1-0 going for a tower as well. He's going to be attacking the expansion though. 1 Fiend was left behind by the Undead, which he should certainly be bringing now into the battle. And the Orc army isn't that big yet. The Dark Ranger with a Black Arrow could start turning this Orc army into an Undead one quite quickly. Lots of scouts for 1-0 as well. He's at the shop. He wants to go for an Invul Potion probably. We saw plenty of hero kill before. Ooh, he got Catgas Pipe and... oh my god, the items are insane. Catgas Pipe, big mana, and the Flute. TC dodges the nuke with the Invul Potion. But that one now is going to be gone, basically forever. Destroyer somehow is still alive. Dark Ranger getting focused next, but she's pretty tanky. There's a coil available for her. Lich in a precarious situation, however. Not the best positioning of the 3rd hero. Silence versus Hex. Both healers are disabled for the time being. Dark Ranger again going to get coiled. DK out of mana now. But the Shadow Hunter, he's going to be in trouble now next. He doesn't have Heatwave, he has Hex. As we see here, the Dark Ranger almost going down. Heal Scroll last second. Mana Potion used. Dark Ranger saved. And that might be the fight going to the Undead. Lich gets level 2. Now we're going to have Frost Armor as well. No statues on the ground, by the way, for 1-0, which is a big problem. Oh, but the Dark Ranger finding so many kills. Lich in trouble as well. No Dispel anymore against the Hex, and that is the Lich going down. 1-0 not having statues. That's a big mistake. He didn't make statues when he went for this attack. And that might be costing him now. Tavern Revive on the Lich. We've seen plenty of Tavern Revives before. Here's another one. Speed Scroll. And Lin Guagua is going to run out. He used all of his mana right there. And I think 1-0 at some point they had like 600-700 gold. They didn't spend quickly enough, and Lin Guagua might be on his way to 2-0 1-0. The Undead now is bringing in everything that he has, but is that going to be enough?
A player's forces are under attack.
TC now so strong on level 4, he's going to get some more potions. Clarity's running. A couple of skeletons are now out. Dark Ranger getting caught again. There's going to be a coil used pretty early so he doesn't get hexed. Where's the Frost Armor though? The Dark Ranger goes down again! Couldn't transfer the Invuln, I guess. Oh, that's a big problem for 1-0. This might be the end for the Undead here. DK getting focused next. Hex, Stomp over and over. TP is going to be used. 1-0 is going to get out just barely. Gets one more kill. But he lost the Dark Ranger, which was the big deal. Is he going to go for the next Tavern Revive? We've seen that plenty of times now from him. Lin Guagua knows the next attack is coming in. Invul Potion. Don't know if there's a new one available. We do have one on the TC. Probably going to go for a mana pot as well. Game's not over yet. But 1-0 is definitely down in supply here. And Lin Guagua has quite the big lead. Fiend numbers now very low. The DPS of this undead army not so high anymore. The Lich is not level 3 yet. And the Farseer is gonna get level 4 from this camp. Focus on the DK. Heavy focus on the DK. Destroyer morphed. Hex dispelled. Gonna have to use the Death Pact. Invul potion on the TC. The Lich in trouble. Oh, Lich almost going down. Don't know if he has an invul to save this Lich. Again, Guagua committed hard for these hero kills and didn't get them. He doesn't have that much mana left. Again, a bit of an overcommitment. Speed Scroll also used very aggressively right here. Destroyer is gonna go down though. That means no more dispel against the Hex now. Focus fire on the TC, but he's getting healed up. Undead army trapped against the corner. And that might be the end. Dark Ranger gets level 4. That's a big one. Level 2 silence now. Could be used. No Nova anymore. Lich is out of mana. The DK has a little bit left, however. Undead army has all but disappeared. Trying to get the hero kill, I guess. Berserk activated again. Here comes the Stomp. Chain Lightning. There might be a Hex as well. Oh my god, the Invul Potion. At the very last second. Aggressively using the coil to get the TC, but he survives. With that Ring of Protection, he just barely survives. And 1-0 is running back with basically no army left. Only the heroes left alive. Lin Guagua again committing hard to these hero kills. He didn't get them. But once again, he was far enough ahead that he could afford that. And the big mistake here was the first push, the first big attack for 1-0, when the Orc army wasn't big yet. The fact that he didn't have this statues there, that I think was his downfall here. That plus the fact that he doesn't want to play Fast Fiends, which might be the better answer. But he's still not giving up. Got a bit more experience here, 1-0 did. I don't know if he got level 3 Lich. Level 3 Lich would be a big upgrade. But Lin Guagua is going to have a huge army. Alright, Lich did get level 3. So, 4, 4, 3 levels now. That's very strong. That could also lead to a double silence at the beginning of the fight. But Guagua has those very same levels. 4, 4, 3. And so many units. Third attack upgrade coming in as well for the Berserkers. .0 has been able to make miracles work before in Warcraft. This is gonna have to be a special one though. Speed Scroll. Pop pretty early. Silence on the TC breaks out of it right away. Going for the Dark Ranger, but she's protected with Frost Armor. Coda coming forward, does get off a Devour. TC with the next Stomp. Disabling the Undead Army once again. The Dark Ranger trouble once more, and the Dark Ranger is going down. Destroyer Morph. Not fast enough. The Dark Ranger falls. The game is over. GG. And Lin Guagua gets the 2-0 over 1-0.